All right, this is an absolutely massive day for AI. We just got the latest Claude model, Claude Opus 5, shortly after the re-release of Claude Fable 5. And I was literally in bed about to go to sleep last night, and I saw this news broke, and I basically stayed up for like 4 or 5 hours until 4 a.m. testing everything, looking at prompts, looking at comparisons, coming up with how I actually want to use this in my workflow. And today I'm bringing you guys a comprehensive review of Opus 5 so far in my experience, how I think it stacks up versus Fable 5, and how I'm changing my AI stack based on this model, because this is quite a monumental model considering in the benchmark scores, it actually outperforms Fable 5 in a variety of categories like agentic coding, agentic search, computer use, etc. But it actually does so at roughly half the cost, which we'll get into in a second. So it's actually a cheaper model than Fable 5, but it outperforms Fable 5 in many areas. However, as we'll discuss, there are still a couple of areas where I do think Fable 5 outperforms, and I'm going to be going through some comparisons so you guys can actually be the judge of which model is worth it. Honestly, if you do look through the percentages, in many cases it's very similar. Like it just edges out in a few categories, and there are a few categories where Fable 5 is still genuinely the more intelligent model, but I feel like where the real leap forward is with Opus 5 versus Fable 5 and obviously Opus 4.8 is the performance by effort level. So you can see it scores extremely high. The score is on this axis, but it is much cheaper than Fable 5 and 4.8, as you can see on the axis below. So you're constantly seeing Opus 5 across agentic computer use, across business workflows, which I do a lot of. This is like a key part of my business. My latest video showed you guys how to actually automate any task and build custom business workflows. That's a very good video. I am now replacing a lot of those workflows with Opus 5. So after this, you should check out that video and actually apply that to Opus 5, because as you can see, it's cheaper on the scale, it's further to the left, whilst actually performing better in many cases. What I will say though is, of course, Anthropic is incentivized to tweak their scoring system to favor the newer models. So in practice, there are some nuances that you need to be aware of. So it's not as cut and dry as just looking at a chart, but the chart definitely paints the picture as to where Opus 5 will potentially slot into your stack. Shortly, I'm going to go through some real comparisons and also take a look at some of the agentic stuff that I was playing around with. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on day one as to how I feel like this model has translated into my business. And it is definitely going to make big changes to my workflows. Something interesting here is that the misaligned behavior on Opus 5 is much decreased versus Fable 5, meaning it has lower rates of recklessness, deceptive behavior, and it has the strongest adherence to Claude's constitution. In terms of cybersecurity, Fable 5 still wins, but obviously Opus 5 is a lot better than 4.8. What you will experience, however, is there's still going to be some routing. So Opus 5 still will default for some tasks that it deems to be risky, and sometimes it's, a little bit inconsistent with what it deems to be risky. It's going to use Opus 4.8 as the fallback model. This is the same as Fable 5. This is still annoying, but this is just the world we're living in here to have access to these models, obviously, after the compliance issues. So it's available today in our plans. So it's priced the same as Opus 4.8. And it's available in all paid plans. You can use it right now. It's available in the Claude API, and it's now the default model on Claude Max. There's also a fast mode, which I think could be very good for fast-paced agentic work. But we know GPT 5.6 Sol is actually very good at that. So is it going to be better? I'll also get into that because GPT has been a model that I've been leaning on more and more recently. So I'm going to get into my personal experiences, but first let's look at some comparisons. I always like doing the visual comparison test to see how good a model is. You can see in this comparison, we have Opus 5 on top and Fable 5 Max at the bottom. And I would say that Opus 5 is actually very impressive when it comes to graphic design, and this was a one-shot prompt. It stacks up pretty well to Fable 5, and you got to remember, in many cases, it's going to be pretty much half the cost, meaning you get a very similar output. In some cases, I think a better output for much less cost. I've also seen people putting Opus 5 against Kimi K3. I think Opus 5 looks much, much better, actually. Like, the visuals are more impressive, but users pointed out on the one-shot prompts. But the developer here pointed out that Kimi actually one-shotted the movement better, whereas Opus 5, although it looked better, it actually had more errors. And I think this also highlights Kimi K3 is a very good cheap model. So if your biggest goal or biggest constraint is cost, it's definitely worth having Kimi in your stack. Because you could see here, a 9-minute prompt on K3 for this game costed $4.4, and it took 9 minutes. Opus 5 took 17 minutes, still with ongoing iterations, and it cost 13 plus. And Fable would be probably $25 plus for the same prompt. So not all things are created equal. Not all workflows are best on Claude. That is just the reality, and it really depends what you are doing. I tend to stick more to Claude because that's where the majority of my business lives. That's where I create skills. That's where I have a lot of my graphic design. But I try and remain pretty model agnostic with my workflows. So if there's a specific thing I feel like another model will do better, and in the end, I'll get through my new AI stack for you guys, I can easily port and switch. My last video breaks that down into depth. I highly recommend watching it. I'll actually leave a link in the description below because it breaks down how I automate all my tasks. You can see someone actually created Minecraft with Opus 5. This is actually a lot better, in my opinion, than the other ones that I saw on Fable 5. This is actually quite impressive, and it does stack up because in terms of most of the benchmarks, it does come out ahead. And the fact this is cheaper, I think, is a big thing. Like, make no mistake, Opus 5 is a very good model. It might just be the best AI model on the planet right now, but not for everything. But in terms of an overall model, it genuinely stacks up very well. Someone also recreated Rocket League. I feel like these game recreations are actually good to see how with a single prompt the AI will react. And this is probably the best clone that I've seen of a Rocket League game. I mean, it looks incredible, and Opus 5 did this on its own. And if you look at the same prompt on GPT Sol, it was much worse. And for general design stuff, video design, graphics, 3D stuff, I'm using Claude. Whether it's Fable 5 for architecture or Opus 5 now for execution, I still think Claude is better. Where GPT is decent, which I'll discuss in more depth later, is on the brute force agentic work. I find it can be a little bit more direct, and in some cases, slightly quicker. Last comparison, and then I'll get into my own findings on my agentic workflows throughout my business. Look at this comparison. Opus 5, $4.20, Fable 5, $9.60, so double the cost, and arguably Opus 5 did a better job or a very similar job in this comparison. They are very, very similar outputs, and Opus 5 is at half the cost. Is it at half the speed, though? That's something we're going to have to discuss because not all things are created equal. Cost versus speed. Just because something's cheaper doesn't mean it's faster. And I'll show you some of my findings now regarding that, actually. So I was up late. I was testing so many things. I was building HTMLs for different graphics. I was applying a lot of my workflows. For example, I was redoing my YouTube title and content creation ideation engine on both, as you can see on the right here, Opus 5, and on the left, so the model that's currently selected, Fable 5. And my findings across the board after hours of work across multiple different things is that Opus 5 is actually a lot slower in many cases. It does take genuinely 20 to 30% more time on agentic flows. It will compartmentalize a task better. So you'll even see right now, this is Opus 5 in front of you, it'll break down a task into multiple subtasks. So sometimes this can be good to get more of an understanding of the agentic flow, whereas the Mythos class models, Fable 5, you'll notice, it'll just take a lot of time, then it will one-shot something out of nowhere, essentially. That's mostly a UI thing, but I think it does highlight the underlying differences in the architecture of the models. I feel like Opus 5, in my agentic experiments so far across my business, is going to be better for agentic work, going back and forth. I think it's more similar to 5.6 in the way it behaves than actually Fable. I feel like Fable is a better, wise, strategic planner, strategic architect that is able to create a very strong, solid plan up front. I feel like it is still the more intelligent model and the slightly wiser model. There's not a very big difference. It's a very small difference, and it's probably not worth the extra cost in many cases. I think Opus 5 for 90% of use cases is going to be better, especially for agentic stuff, but I still do feel like Fable 5 does have a genuine use case within your AI stack. I still feel like it's worth it for some things. And Theo, I think, summed up my thoughts after hours of experimentation quite well. He said, so far, Opus 5 feels like a strange but useful in between of GPT 5.6 Sol and Fable 5. It has a lot of Fable's taste, but also comes with GPT 5.6's thoroughness, as well as autism. It takes things super literally. It writes code that is slightly worse to look at than Fable, but more likely to be correct. It's regularly catching things that Fable missed. So far, it feels like a good compromise between 5.6's messy code and Fable's habit of being too clever to be correct. I think I'm going to like this model a lot. And this is the analogy I want to use. This has been doing the rounds. It's on X. I also saw Nate speaking about it, but this is how I genuinely feel about these models. On the left, I feel like we have GPT 5.6. I feel like it's the Rottweiler. So it's the model that is just going to dig into a task, aggressively complete it, and brute force it. It's fast and it's aggressive. On the right-hand side, we have the Owl. This is Fable 5. It's the smart model. It's really good at planning. It's really wise. It's the smartest, the most intelligent. It has the best strategic thinking and course correction. But it's not as fast. It's not as ruthless when it comes to, or dogmatic when it comes to agentic flows. So, if you're doing stuff that involves like multi-step agentic workflows, a lot of people, including myself in my experimentation, have found 5.6 to be the better model. But interestingly, today kind of changes the game because we have a bit of a mix of both now with Claude. Because now we have a lower cost model that is able to more closely mimic the tenacity of the Rottweiler. In this case, this is GPT 5.6, but it also has the wisdom, and this is also clear in the benchmarks, it has the sheer intelligence of Fable 5. So I feel like it kind of sits in the middle in terms of how you would use it, if that makes sense, which I feel like makes it just a good all-around model. Like if you're too lazy or you don't want to switch models, I feel like for most people, this is going to be a great go-to. If you're running Hermes, if you're running OpenClaw, I feel like you could just get away with using Opus 5 and maybe occasionally falling back to one of the other models if something is super niche. So for me, I think, as you can see in front of you, I'll be using Opus 5, and I'm going to experiment more and bring out videos, but I wanted to give you my early thoughts today. I'm going to be using Opus 5 as my daily driver. I think it can do basically everything. Scripts, research for content, scraping, building demos, doing agency work, design, helping me build landing pages. I feel like a lot of that's going to be on Opus 5. Where I'm still going to use Fable is for strategy. Like I would still prefer to have Fable's eye, the wise owl eye, looking across like a bigger product development rollout, a bigger proposal for a client. I feel like I still want to use Fable because technically it's still the smartest model, but it doesn't mean it is the best model for, agentic stuff, which is a lot of stuff. The way to think about agentic stuff is pretty much anytime you are spawning agents or, prompting, for example, in Claude Code, it'll spawn agents to complete work, essentially. A lot of that, which I went through in the last video, is now I feel like going to be better done on Opus 5. And for me personally, I am less of a user of GPT. I definitely use it, but it's more 10 to 20% of the time compared to Claude because I'm just more familiar with Claude. I feel like I've used it for longer, so I know how to get the best out of it. But I think 5.6, and this is probably the best use case, this is just how I personally use it. You might be different. Is essentially being like a second opinion. When Opus gets stuck or when I'm not sure something strategically is correct, I often will just run stuff by 5.6. And obviously, if you have your memory system properly configured, you can just plug 5.6 into the exact same data source that I showed you in the last video how to create it as you would plug in Claude. So you can get similar outputs. So I think it's great for sanity checking. I think it's also very, very good for agentic coding. I think if you're coding stuff, 5.6 is going to be very similar to Opus 5, but I feel like Opus 5 now has the slight edge in my experimentation, and of course, that's also backed up by the benchmarks. But overall, Opus 5 is a cheaper model than Fable 5. It is a more competent model in some ways, especially with the agentic stuff, but maybe it's still not as overarchingly intelligent as Fable 5. But I do expect a new Fable model to come soon. Maybe it's going to be Fable 5.1, or maybe they go to Fable 5.5, and that model will probably keep the intelligence gap, but it still will probably be more expensive because of the way that it's architected and the way that it thinks, which I think will make Opus 5, unless GPT comes out with something crazy over the next few weeks, our daily driver potentially for the next month or so, or potentially even longer. So I will keep you updated as things evolve as usual, but hopefully this gave you some color on the new model, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.